So the work that I do is I'm a landscape painter, and I have been doing that for probably the last 25 years. Initially, I started out painting almost purely observational with my work, on location, using no photographs. And then I've since transitioned into more creative work in the studio. The landscape is nearby a home where my grandparents lived when out on the Salton Sea. So I grew up out in that area as a young kid, and so it's been in our family. I'm very familiar with it, and I just I love that desert region down there. It's kind of the north shore of the Salton Sea near a town called Mecca, is the closest town, south of Coachella a little bit. But the desert's beautiful, it's vast, it's off the radar of a lot of people because it's a little further out than Palm Springs, another hour or so south, and quiet and rural and really beautiful. Yeah, a lot of it's undeveloped. The community that we live in out there is a very sparsely populated. Mostly, actually, local farm workers are living out there now. So it's just quiet, family neighborhood, and there may be a house on every 2 or 3 houses on a block, kind of a thing. I love other forms. I love still life and portraiture. I'm not quite as strong in those because I don't practice them as much. But I love all of them. But landscape, I don't know that I can actually say that. Answer that. I just felt sort of an intuitive connection with it. And I love, maybe part of it is I love the feeling of exploring things. I like that there's something new, and I like all of the different moods and expressions that landscape can take on at different times of day. I also I like places that are quiet, like the desert. So when you mentioned that, I kind of find myself gravitating towards places that are meditative or quiet, even in the city. So even when I'm painting here, I'll try to find those locations. Yeah, so Cal State Long Beach was really an outstanding art program. I would say one of the very best in the state for sure, and maybe one of the top in the United States. And I didn't know that when I went there. I knew it was good, but I didn't know how good it was. And I think the strength of the school was that they had found a way to develop traditional skills in observational drawing and painting all the way from foundation to advanced, but also they embraced contemporary work as well. And so they weren't sort of just trying to replicate the past, but there was a real focused effort on that, or sustained effort in those practices that you don't really see. Maybe students will get them in a couple foundation classes now, but at Long Beach it was carried through all the way from lower division into graduate level. You could study it at a very advanced level. From the figure, from the model, and the student work just spoke for itself there. But then also the contemporary side was exciting and engaging because they weren't, again, like I'm sort of repeating myself here, but they weren't trying to just repeat the past. They were looking for new forms of expression that were meaningful today. So I think that was the strength of Long Beach, and I happened to be accepted there, and I was very fortunate because the instructors I had really helped me build a move in the direction that I felt most that I felt most natural with as an artist. Well, my international experience is so it has to do more with the academic side of things than it does because I have done a lot of art. I'm trying to think of the different. What I've done is I have been fortunate to be a part of a lot of the CSU summer arts courses in Italy and in France. And also, I've been able to be to serve as the resident director in Italy for a year, overseeing the CSU's program there. That was more of an administrative role, but it opened my eyes to just really to amazing possibilities and to connections with other people in Florence. And but one of the things that we've done, though, is we've done creative arts projects in, like, for example, in France, Dominic Cotara and I we co-taught a course over there for a month exploring the foundations of modernist painting. So we took 30 or 40 students over there, and we looked at the works of a lot of early modern masters in the museums on site. We read from their journals, and we would work in the studio in the evenings or out on location. And so it was really an immersive experience in the arts, and that course we did in France, and we've done several of those in Italy as well. So I think the connection, I guess this is a very roundabout, long-winded way of getting to what you're asking me, which is I've had the opportunity to work with, to take students and to do really amazing creative study projects, in these countries. And so I think it's impacted a lot of people in that regard. And then I did have the opportunity to travel to China as well and participate in an exhibition in Beijing with one of my mentors, Yu. So that was an amazing experience as well. So I've had some experiences traveling within the CSU which is I'm very grateful for in the pursuit of studying art. In Italy, what I recognized there was the scale and the ambition of those painters and the artists that were working was it's so far beyond what my limited scope had been prior to that. So being able to see that and also the other thing about that is also you get to see different forms of expression. So they're using different materials, they're using different processes than what I would use, and they're coming up with things that were 10 times better than what I could do on my best day. And so that made me go, okay, wait, there's other ways of doing this than what I'm doing. And it opened my mind to different possibilities. Initially, when I first came out of college, maybe I was more limited in my understanding of what art could express and what possibilities there were, and I had maybe a more narrow view of process. But that's opened up quite a bit just traveling. Even in China, looking at all the different art forms, the ancient Chinese art forms, all the way to when they're practicing more traditional painting and contemporary art. It's the level, their work ethic over there, the level of the ambition they have is just amazing. So I think travel it should expand anybody's mind. It's kind of a cliche, but it opens your mind to possibilities as an artist.
That's great.
I get to connect with the local community here, which is something that I've kind of, I don't know that I've spent as much time cultivating that, and I'm excited to be a part of that and to connect with more artists in the area and to be a part of a group of people that are excited about promoting Long Beach. And there's a lot of great artists here, a lot of creative people, and I'm just happy to be a part of our community, Well, I guess I would say this. The one thing I would like to say is that the work that you see in this exhibition is mostly observationally based. So everything you're seeing here, I'm going out on location and I'm looking very carefully. I'm pretty naturalistic about my approach. So I'm not moving things around. I'm not making all kinds of creative, decision making. I'm literally locking in on these things visually and trying to uncover what's there. The other thing that I would like people to know, though, is that a lot of my work, when I move it into the studio, it becomes much more, the subjective side starts to take place, and I make different kinds of decisions. I won't say more creative, but different kinds of decisions about the work. And so it takes on a whole different feel, a whole different process, materials, and everything. So there's different sides to me as an artist, and I love exploring all different things. So what you see here is one vein of what I do, and I'm feeling that, and it's something I'm very proud of and I love to do, but I also enjoy exploring different territory.